Alright, so doing a fast video live right now. After hours is a little after 6:36 p.m. Apple just came out with their earnings. Had a good, really good earnings report and gapped up. It's 197. I don't see $200 a problem on this before tomorrow's close. So that is the play right now. If you were in it, congratulations. They blew it out. They just knocked it out of the park. It was a really good thing, and we discussed this before the earnings came out. And prediction is in the room. Most people were looking for that one. There was a few twos, meaning they predicted the market, Apple would sell off. But by far, you're hearing such good things about this report that it's still undervalued, and that it should be. It just. I haven't heard anything bad from the report. I expect this to go higher from here. They even say above $200 is still cheap for the stock. So, but looking at the reaction of the market after hours, the market did run after hours, and then at basically, right at 4:30, we got a little pop here, and then we actually. All right, so again, you can see that we did move up here and then chopped around, and then the futures reopened. After 6 o'clock, and you can see we opened up and kind of just drifted here, but a little off the highs of the earlier session, an hour before. So there was a little gap down, even though it is positive. It is up 5 and change. It's nice. We'll see what happens. I think we move higher off of this. I really do, and this is a good report. The tech stocks, we're going to talk about some stocks to watch tomorrow. Apple, of course, going to be one of the number ones to look for continued strength. So I think the trade is going to be to the upside. I wouldn't be short in Apple. So I wrote down a few new stocks here to look at. Some of them are HPS candidates. And before I go any further, the HPS, we had a stop in our quote fetching machine, and we're fixing it. We had an issue with the platform, and so the last two alerts haven't triggered as they normally would. The thing's been flawless for years, so we're just working on kind of getting that straightened out. Hopefully it'll be resolved by tomorrow, and you'll start getting those alerts again. So the HPS currently. The video's there. You have all the buy triggers and stuff, but they're not going to automate and send you that instantaneous email until we get that fixed. But you will have, you do still have the video. So these are potential setups that are going to show up on the HPS. So you get an early view here. CBOE, big reversal candle. I almost pulled the trigger on this, and I held off, but I wanted to because you don't see a candlestick like this too often. Big candle. Oversold. This is just a combination. The reversal candle and oversold stochastic. Typically, HPS represents 3 indicators lining up. 3, it could be a trend line, it could be a reversal candle, it could be a stochastic oversold level. 3, or it could be any of the 3 of the 5 indicators that we use. We use moving averages, recognizable patterns. So if it's on a pattern and it's at a certain area with a reversal, we need everything. At least 3 things to line up. This is the only combination I see work almost all the time, only if there's 2. A reversal candle and oversold stochastic. Just that combination. If you're down here oversold and you get a reversal candle, the odds of this reversing and actually pushing up are really good. Follow through day tomorrow. But I'm not in it, but it does fit a good criteria. Look at that. Very nice. So I like this one a lot. We'll follow it. I think some people are in it. Whenever we look at that, we also look at CME, which I didn't think, and you can see that one has actually rotated back down to a trend line. This is what we call a trend line retracement. No reversal candle on it, 200 period moving average, but it is getting oversold. Interesting either way you look at it. All right, next one. And we'll get to the questions. I'll make a mention of the Vero, but I talked about Vero a lot today. I actually went over the whole story, gospel. But I'll do a recap for you at the end of the video. All right, so we left off that, CME. Then we're going to go down to the, this is the penny stock I noticed running. So got in, Didn't even. I said we're gonna. I'm just gonna get in this. Anyway, so what was it? CEI. Yeah, here it is. And I had a bunch of these real cheap ones that had news recently and have come back, and I put them on my radar and I look for volume to come into it. So right around the this is not a typical trade, but right back here I did notice volume starting to pick up in it. So we got in it, and it actually played out good, closed on the highs. And now tomorrow we have a chance of following through. I mean, it's not a big trade for me. I don't have it up here, but I think I had 1,000 shares at 30 something cents. I don't know where it was, low 30s, and it closed at 41, or it's 41 here after hours. So I'd like to get a pop and just get the hell out. That's the CEI. And I was just like, wow, it just happened to be the right time and the right place to see that volume come into it. So that's why I just jumped in it. The next one is the COOP. Now, this one I think is worth entering here off the 50-period moving average. It's the first rotation down with a 50. Not a bad candle, kind of a spinning top. And it could be seen as an okay candle for a move back up. And overall, not bad. Nowhere near where some of the other tech stocks are. This one's holding pretty good strength. So I am still bullish on this one. Coop. THO got into this one. Lower trend line bounce. Big question: how far does it go if we go back up to the trend line here, or do we actually rotate back down quickly? Put in a divergence here as this maintains its upward lift, even if this comes out and takes out the lows. It should be a 4-point move. That'd be pretty serious anyway. Or you're going for just you're trying to make a call off the lower trend line, oversold stochastics. Not much, a little candle here. Not a bad one, almost a qualified one. Good enough to actually get this thing going. So want to see a pop on this. I don't want to stick around with this one too long, but it does look good. Also, the reason it was coming down was the tariff fears also on this. So maybe the China tariff easing our talks, which they say is not even confirmed yet. All of it was fake news today. Even the release is saying they were going to talk. China, nothing was confirmed. So it's all BS. Everything. And then we had the Alibaba. Now Alibaba, we took it off today. We're great trade from yesterday to today. Then I ended up taking some off that I was holding longer term. I took that off by mistake, and then I got back in it for a scalp, right? And it started moving back up, and we decided to hold on to it until tomorrow. I think we're going to get a bounce on it. After hours, it's slowly moving up. 188.51. I said 190 would get me out of it. If we gap up on it tomorrow, I'll be gone. Faster than you could say fast. Next up, we did a couple of ES trades. I did one today, and right when the Wall Street Journal came out with news of the talks being just a negative comment, and it flushed the market for a second. I got stopped out. Then the market rallied back up and continued to move higher. Typical of that shake and bake and that news-driven market. It was really a shame because I had this. See if I could actually show it to you. This trade was mine all the way, and it's news that really is the I blame it all on the news. Alright, so it was right back here. We actually had, I want to show it. It was right here. So we were looking at possible divergence from here to here and the first pullback. So I got in on the first pullback looking for it to push higher. We started breaking out here. It was about to go. We were up maybe a point at most at that point. And then the Wall Street Journal came out with news and boom, took me out. And then reversed and then took off. So hate it. BS. But I think that setup would have worked out anyway. And then the one we did yesterday was another great one. I don't know if I can even find. There it is, back here. Oh, that was the one we just did. That's actually, I don't know. Looks like the same thing. I think it was opposite though. Might have been down a little further. All right, so let's so Baba, looking forward to that one. Let's just go on. Altria, MO, September calls on it. The daily, I think, is pretty impressive. A series of higher highs and higher lows. Getting a little tired maybe, but I think we're just about ready to break out and make a quick move to the 200. So that's what I'm looking for. I'd like to see that tomorrow. Even if the market pulls back, it might actually be good for this one. We might actually see buying coming into this. As you remember, Friday was a big down day, and Altria actually was a big up day on Friday when the market was down. And this looks like a decent reversal. The gap down and the move back up. Same thing with the Philip Morris. Gap down and a move back up and continue to show strength. Big bottoms. And then we have, that's it. So last but not least, Veru, V-E-R-U. And it, not a bad candle today, actually. And technically speaking, this chart holds up as a tradable chart. You know, it has an upward trending for all of 2018. It's not a stock where you see that big pop and drop, and it's just a manipulated penny stock. This actually has a story behind it, and when they merge with another company, the story's growing. They have their drugs in the pipeline, and they're being tested right now, and they have products, and it's just a matter of getting to a certain point, and then this thing should be successful. And we're right at the point where the phase 2 trials going on. They're waiting for the results, and the market's just in a kind of almost a waiting pattern here. It's frustrating to watch it not move and go from 220 down to under $2, but then back up to 210 and then back to 190. But the big picture, not bad, So they oversold, big reversal candle. We'll see how important that reversal candle was. And the potential news. Now we know, and again, I tell everyone to go to Vero's site, Vero.com, go to the Jeffries conference, sign up so you could hear it, do whatever they ask for, an email probably, and then listen to the whole conference. It's a PowerPoint presentation. They give you slides. It's really good. Talks about their roadmap for 2018, 2019, and most of the drugs are going to be really, getting that, into those trials and really updated in early part of 2019. But they also said there's some waiting for some news here in latter part of 2018, and basically right in this month. It was supposed to be July, August area. We don't know if they pushed it back, but the news is still coming on updates on their trials and their NDAs they're supposed to apply for, and then their update on sales of their female condoms. So it's nothing I could say that I don't. No one ever, we all waiting for the same thing. Question is, do they get to earnings? They find that they need cash. They're going to do some kind of cash grab and the earning. No, what do you call it? Like an offering or something out there that they do to get some cash going. But the story still stays the same. They still have the good drugs. They still have the cancer research going on. They just have to pay for it, just like anything else. But if they get the contracts, they get their sales going, or they get some results, and people will get interest, they'll get a partnership, and that's what's, that's the big picture. All right, that's it. That's longer than I expected to use on this video. Overall market radar to close up things. And then I got to go to Awake, and I'm going to come back here and work on some things. Not a bad reversal today. All started with a divergence, and then the pullback. Still pointing down very strong. This could have been just a little stall, not a big pop. Like I said, some of us are actually noticing doesn't feel like the market wants to rip. Looking at the futures, it's just there's something out there that seems doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. Anyway, we fail again at that trend line, and we just roll over. Then we have, we'll be picking up some momentum. If this defeats this, there's some more good news, and we can actually power through yesterday's or today's high. Then we're talking, bullish uptrends is probably going to start up again, and that high probably is getting very close to be taken out. Tomorrow's a key day. Apple earnings out, great earnings. They have enough strength to hold the market up. So we'll see. Divergence still stands. Looking at the chart, I'm a little cautious up against this trend line. We got to get through. Of course, we have to get through today's highs to feel real good. All right, that's it. So let me get this out. I'll send it out to the members, and just a kind of an update. We're probably gonna CBOE. That's probably the best I like right now going into tomorrow, just with that big candle. But let's see if the tech moves, the BABA moves. All right. I'll see you on Day Trading Radio. Over and out.